Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Laura Kay. You can call me Luna if you are new here. Welcome to this safe space. We like to do lots of energy readings here, share wisdom, all that good stuff. If you've been here with me for a while, thank you guys so much for being here, for coming back, for liking and subscribing to these videos. You guys are amazing. I really appreciate you and the energy exchange that we get to share via this community, this connection on this channel. I want to do this reading. I did a huge reading with a group of friends yesterday, and it was very much based around imposter syndrome. So I wanted to just come talk about that because so much wisdom came out of this reading, and maybe I will pull some oracle cards for us today. I do have my tarot card sitting next to me today. We'll just see how we feel. But I do want to start this off by reading a little bit from the Four Agreements on page 21 in the Prelude to a New Dream. I just want to read this little section that kind of kicks us off into talking about imposter syndrome. There are thousands of agreements that you've made with yourself, with other people, with your dream life, with God, with society, with your parents, with your spouse, and your children. But the most important agreements are the ones that you made with yourself. In these agreements, you will tell yourself who you are, what you feel, what you believe, and how you behave. The result is what you call your personality. In these agreements, you say, this is what I am. This is what I believe. I can do certain things, and some things I cannot do. This is reality. And that is fantasy. This is possible, and that is impossible. One single agreement is not such a problem, but we have many agreements that make us suffer. They make us fail in life. And if you want to live a life of joy and fulfillment, you have to find the courage to break those agreements that are fear-based and claim your personal power. The agreements that come from fear require us to expand a lot of energy. But the agreements that have come from love help us to conserve energy and to gain extra energy. So, that being said, a lot of us, everyone struggles with the imposter syndrome at times, right? And it can keep us from wanting to put out our art or show ourselves in group settings or on social media or however so. And maybe you know that there is gold within you, there's wisdom in you that needs to be shared with the world, but it's like every time I think about doing so, I just think about the people that are going to dislike and that are going to hate, and maybe even the people that like are just saying that so I don't off myself or something. You know what I mean? Like, we all have those deep feelings of just feeling not in the right place, or maybe we're experiencing great things happen in our life and we start to think, well, this is too good to be true. When's it gonna? And usually with that mentality, it does pretty quick because you're manifesting that. So I want to point out to you how I feel that there's a lot of wisdom within the imposter syndrome, which might sound a little odd at first, but when you really think about it, we all experience this feeling, this energy of the imposter syndrome that makes us, feel in fear and hold us back from actually doing what we're doing. And the society around us wants us to be in fear, wants us to hold back parts of ourselves. Stop letting the ops win, y'all. But there's something to this imposter syndrome that holds a lot of wisdom within it. Everything that you are going to do in this life is going to be polarizing. There are going to be people that like what you do, and there's going to be people that dislike what you do. There's going to be people who dislike what you do and pretend that they like what you do, and vice versa. And it can get a little bit confusing, but I feel that this imposter syndrome can also be a way of exercising ourselves to, sorry, there's like a little commercial, is a good way to exercise ourselves to being okay with handling rejection or like denial from certain people or whatever it is. The imposter syndrome can also be a type of foresight, is what I've been learning and understanding in my own life, is that you're always going to have people that dislike what you do, whatever. But this imposter syndrome, it's almost like it's getting you ready. It's preparing you for, yeah, like you are going to have people dislike these things, but the same amount of people that dislike are going to love and like. And when you are somebody who keeps yourself from receiving, which we've talked about in recent videos, the need to get better at receiving, which is kind of healing that feminine within, embodying a little bit more of that feminine can help us to do so. And if you're resonating with this, you're listening to this, you may be in a place of balancing the feminine and masculine within yourself. We all have different levels of that feminine and masculine within ourselves. We even have different aspects of ourselves that have different levels of that masculine and feminine. Your emotional body can be very different from how you're like physically presenting all the time, and different aspects of yourself. There's so many different like bodies of ourselves. You're coming to a place of learning where that balance is within your own unique signature, because it's different for everybody. You're learning how to delegate certain things to certain energies within yourself, and you're becoming masterful at this. But pushing through that imposter syndrome is where you're going to also experience lots of avenues for that receiving and for being able to magnetize the people that are for you. You are also going to experience that negativity, but an alchemist turns whatever, whatever into gold. Like, I don't know, is it coal or like rocks into gold? Like, whatever the alchemist, whatever they touch can turn to gold. You can take that negative, the disapproval or whatever. No press is bad press, babe. If you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. You can flip the script and make it all work for you. And I do believe that that imposter syndrome is helping our ego become okay with that feeling. It's almost like microdosing it in little bits before it happens. It's like you're feeling so much roughness, so much like this couldn't blah, blah. But like, you have to be the one that believes in yourself more than anybody else around you. And it doesn't have to be for the people that do tell you you're doing a good job. Like, you don't need the validation. You need to start moving. You will receive the validation when you do. Let this conversation right now be validation enough, and you don't need that from the rest of the outside world, right? This is why when you're elevating, you can connect with people via the internet through these spaces that really see and understand the energetics of things that you're experiencing. I would like to just flip a random page. This book is called The Art of Worldly Wisdom. Baltazar Gracian. I don't know exactly how you would pronounce that, Gracian. But anyway, I'm just gonna pick a random. Let's see what that gives us. This is number 203. It says, know the great men of your age. There are not many. There is one phoenix in the whole world. One great general, one perfect orator, one true philosopher in a century, a really illustrious king in several. Mediocrities are as numerous as they are worthless. Eminent greatness is rare in every respect, since it needs complete perfection, and the higher the species, the more difficult is the highest rank in it. Many have claimed the title great, like Caesar and Alexander, but in vain, for without great deeds, the title is a mere breath of air. There has been few Senecas and fame records, but one Appels. I feel like a lot of us have been so freaking used to keeping our aura so small, not being afraid to take up space. And like, there's a, like, okay, cool, you're a chill girl or whatever. But like, at some point, like, being a chill girl is also not acknowledging a lot of things that you really do want for yourself and a lot of things that you do see for yourself. And at some point, it gets to be, okay, you're compromising yourself to like be chill for like whoever doesn't want to handle, but like you were born to be able to handle yourself, and it doesn't matter if the people around you can't handle you or like whatever, you feel like you're too much or whatever, because there's so many people that won't see it like that. There's so many people that would dig for more of you and that want you to bring out more. You want more for yourself. Stop pretending to be so tiny and so small and worth so little, because you're not. You are worth so much more than you've been giving yourself credit for. But if you really are a great, you have to claim it. You have to walk like it. If you see yourself being a star, you have to start walking and talking like you're a freaking star. And that might be a little scary. But once you start moving, you start attracting. And that's the thing. It's like the quote, seeing is believing. Like, it's believing is seeing, because once you start moving, you start experiencing that externally. We're going to pull, of course, a card from the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck. You already know. If you know me, you already know. And this will be how we end off this video. I really appreciate you guys being here. If you've been resonating with this, I love and appreciate you, and I totally understand that feeling of imposter syndrome, because you know what? There are so many little breaks that I've taken from this YouTube channel, because I'm also like, you know, putting this stuff out. I grew up in conservative Texas with, like in Christian ideals as a child and all this kind of stuff. So some of the things that I find myself into these days are so completely far from how I was raised and what a lot of the people around me also agree with. Although lately, the more and more that I am embodying myself and allowing myself to pursue the things that I'm finding interest in. These two cards that I just pulled. But as I am allowing myself to follow my interests and to be vocal about them and to find myself in spaces that allow for me to be in my authenticity and my truth and to find myself through that, I am finding so many people that also feel the same way, that have also just been hiding themselves. And it's like, oh, as I start opening up, I also attract people around me that are opening up. And so are you. It's beautiful. So the cards that I pulled, they came out together and they fell like this. And the first one, it says, free from judgment and free to love. Isn't that so spot on about the imposter syndrome, you guys? Because once you can fight that little voice that's in your head, that's not your voice. It's not your voice. Our brain is just picking up on thoughts and things around us, and you are actually picking up that foresight of, this is how people could potentially process things, but I can navigate around it. And you have that foresight, but the free from judgment. And then this woman is also glowing in green, which is very heart chakra. I'm wearing all green today. Even my pants are green. It's like she's got all these like glowing, it almost looks like fireflies or like stars, but it's like she is in it's stars. Like she's like in that glow of something brighter than the people around her. She's focused on the light around her and in the world but not of it kind of vibes. And so that judgment becomes nothing because you have yourself and you have your divine connection to your divinity, to the Most High, to everything that is, to the infinite. And you just can't care anymore about the other stuff, you know? And then we have visions of life beyond death, which I was saying, a lot of the things that I'm interested in these days and stuff, like conversations like this about past lives and about the spirit and all this can go really over some people's heads. But you know what? Like, this is something that I see and that I understand. And if you're resonating with me, you understand that there's so much more to this life, that we are so much more multidimensional than we are led to believe. And having this deep connection with the world in this way, it just, there's nothing but love, you know? And you're going to attract people too that experience these things like you do. And numbers 4 repeated can be a big one for you. 444. That card was 44. I'm gonna read the free from judgment one because I've actually never gotten this card and I really, really like it. It says, imagine a world so infused with bliss, love, and wonder that you naturally and always feel safe and nourished, cherished as a baby, cherished in the arms of the universal mother. Life mothers us with kindness, and sometimes when we need it to grow through challenge as well. Accepting this mothering in its gentle and fierce phases can be difficult at times. Yet there are those brave enough in spirit to go further onto their life path with absolute trust in the universal mother. Some are even part of her plan to help mother others so that they can too surrender with fear and live more freely. I feel that. This oracle comes with a message for you. You are learning about mothering and being mothered. I posted a song called Mother's Prayer, and somebody literally commented, was like, you're not even a mother. And I'm like, I'm a teacher. I work with children. Like, I am a mother. Like, I'm not. I can't relate to that. I understand there's so much I don't understand about mothering, but like that energy, you know, one with it. And I think that's some of what I was talking about with like the feminine integration kind of stuff earlier. It says, this oracle comes with a message for you that you're learning about mothering and being mothered. You may not do this in a typical way. And we were talking about receiving too. Like, that's that being mothered. And a lot of us have a really hard time with that. You might not do this in a typical way. It might be through bearing a child, but it could also be through adopting children, raising children, or otherwise taking care of children and loving them as if they were your own. You could also take this as your own inner child. You might also be learning how to mother on a rather difficult scale, working with groups, communities, causes, or purposes that need your devotion, your energy, and your belief in their value, and your willingness to be a wild tigress or the supportive shoulder to lean upon in order to bring those worthwhile groups to life. You may also be an aspect of the universal mother on a spiritual level. Some people that do this are male, some are female. Some have children and some do not. Some are healers and some work in seemingly more ordinary professions. They have a mothering aspect in common and they love and respect life. They believe in life, are moved by compassion, and are genuinely encouraging and respectful of people. Rather than taking perverse delight when somebody stumbles, they want to help. They're ordinary people with an extraordinary and natural tendency to nurture the lives around them. This oracle brings you confirmation that you are amongst the Universal Mother's special clan of nurturing spirits that help to honor life on this planet. You're also being asked to open to receive more nurturing. You can do this for yourself. You can also choose to open up and allow others to nurture you. It might make you feel a little vulnerable at first, especially if you're not used to doing this. But you don't have to worry. You will get used to valuing yourself enough to know that needing love and affection from another is an opportunity not only for you to receive, but for someone else to give, which involves them being received too. If you're tired and have been taking care of everyone else, then take some time to shift the pattern and allow life to support you too. The Universal Mother helps the helpers so that they can keep helping. It works rather well, you see, for those that give you so much to also receive abundantly. This always makes me emotional. I don't know if you watched the last few videos, but every time we start talking about receiving, I literally want to cry. I lost my mother when I was like 18, and I have a very special relationship with mother energy that I think can only come from like having lost that at a young age physically around you, and like having to become that for yourself at a young age. Maybe even realizing that I kind of was that even for her at a young age. But this stuff always just makes me so emotional. It says, if you've been asking life for a solution to a specific difficulty you've been having, this oracle comes with a message that a solution is in gestation right now. The situation is already being sorted out and the resolution will come to fruition very soon. Hold tight and wait for the imminent birth of that resolution. This is a confirmation if you are interested in working with children or the inner child with art therapy or emotional healing of any sort of uninhibited creative expression that helps dislodge social conditioning and open up one or more spontaneous feeling-based existence, then yes, go ahead and do it. The Universal Mother is supporting you and you cannot get a more powerful ally. Ain't that truth? This oracle also brings a message about love. You may find that you are loving or soon will love in a different way. You may worry about this love, given that it defies what you have known or been taught about love. Perhaps you're becoming able to love another tremendously, even though you don't have much of a personal relationship with them. You might question if this love is real. It is real. It is just happening on a different level to the love and attachment you experience when you're involved in a personal relationship with someone. It is not more or less, it is just a different facet of love. It may be that you are opening up to love the planet or the creatures, including the animals, the ocean-dwelling life, your body, the trees, and so on, more than you ever have before. You may feel passionately purposeful about giving your time and energy to causes that protect nature or the earth and her creatures. You are affirmed in this love too. The Universal Mother is operating through you to nurture life. She will support you in your work so that you can continue to come from love and not become drained, depleted, or lost in despair or fear of futility. Instead, you will be energized and expanded by your dedicated service to life. Finally, this oracle has a message that for those who have been feeling alone or lonely or in need of greater nurturing from others, you are asked to stop, relax, center, and settle into your body to feel your connection with life itself. The air in your lungs is the same as the air that moves the trees. The water in your blood is the same water that fills the oceans and is moved by the phases of the moon. The flesh of your body is the same substance as the body of the earth itself, and the heat in your digestive system is the same fire and heat as that from the sun. Feel this connection, then do something nice for another without agenda. Make a donation, even just a small one. Smile, say a prayer, send out a good thought, or make a wish for another. That's it. You have connected to life again, and in doing so, life can connect with you, and so it shall. That is beautiful. I think I said in a few videos ago too, it was the 5-5 energy reading, but I was talking about how sometimes you just need to cry and you just need a hug and console yourself and just feel the love of something so much greater than you. When we were talking about mother energy and I was talking about my special relationship with the Great Mother, I find myself often meditating in water, and more of a larger body, or a bathtub works, but I prefer like a pool or a river or something to just lay and float. Especially like I really like it at night in the pool looking at the stars, because you feel like you can literally like float into the galaxy, like when you get into like a deep enough meditation. But it works any water. I do feel really connected with the mother, like through water kind of work. But that kind of meditation where you feel like you're literally in like the cosmic womb, and then you can start moving and your body can move in the water in different ways that it normally can't, and it can feel like a rebirthing process the way that I process it when I meditate. Maybe that would help somebody if you'd like to try it. But you're coming to a place of being free of that judgment. So don't listen to, you know what? Do listen to the imposter syndrome a little bit. Listen to it and laugh at it and say, that's not me. And stand up for yourself and stand and walk in the ways that you see yourself being. I really, really appreciate you guys being here. And if you want to express a little bit of what's been going on in your journey, I would love to hear more in the comments. Please do like and subscribe to this video. I would love to have you guys stick around with me. I hope that you got some kind of insight in your own life from this video. I really, really appreciate getting to be a part of your experience in some way. With that being said, much love and many blessings. I will talk to you guys again very, very soon. Bye.